Hi, crypto friends. Sometimes we all just need to vent to someone. Today it's my turn, because I've been holding this in for too long. We've been validating networks for over 4 years now. We started back when everything was just beginning, when the new ambitious proof of stake protocols were only starting to gain popularity, when it felt like we were standing at the very beginning of something truly big. Many of you may not remember, or perhaps never even thought about the fact that Ethereum at that time was still fully running on proof of work. We remember those days. We remember that incredible enthusiasm when it seemed like we were participating in the birth of a new financial and technological reality. Every new blockchain that appeared tried to make its network as wide as possible in terms of the number of validators. People from different countries were launching nodes, staking tokens, and taking responsibility for the network's security. Decentralization wasn't just a beautiful word from a white paper back then. It was alive, it was growing, and we believed that this was exactly how it should be. Today, the picture is completely different. Many blockchains, instead of continuing to expand the circle of participants, are now deliberately reducing the number of active validators. They justify it by the need to fight for every millisecond in block production. They say fewer participants means faster communication, faster consensus, and better performance. At first glance, it sounds like a technical decision, progress. But if you look deeper, it becomes clear. Behind these decisions lies the gradual destruction of the very essence of what makes a blockchain a blockchain. In most proof-of-stake networks, especially in the Cosmos ecosystem, there is the concept of an active set. This is a limited number of validators who actually participate in block production, sign blocks, verify transactions, and receive the majority of rewards. Everyone else, even if they stake tokens and keep their nodes online, stays in a queue or has significantly less influence. When developers decide to reduce this limit, they usually say it helps reduce latency. Technically, in some protocols, it can indeed give a speed boost because fewer participants mean less time spent exchanging messages. But the price of this boost is the concentration of power. The smaller the active set, the easier it is for a few large players to control what happens in the network. Because of these processes, we were forced to shut down our validators in several networks. It was not an easy decision. We had invested time, money, infrastructure, and a lot of nerves. We monitored nodes 24/7, updated software, participated in governance, and helped the community. But when you fall out of the active set, the economics simply stop making sense. Rewards drop to zero, people who trusted us with their tokens get nothing, and keeping a node becomes pointless. I'm sure we'll see many more such stories in the coming months and years. The trend is clear and accelerating. The argument I hear most often from developers is, why do we need so many validators? 50 or even fewer is more than enough for network security. On the surface, it sounds logical, but the problem isn't just the raw number. The problem is who those 50 validators are. In reality, it's almost always the same mega-validators, the same teams and organizations that sit at the top of dozens of different networks at the same time. They have the largest stakes, professional teams, and data centers in multiple jurisdictions. They dominate not because they are better, in an ethical sense, but because they have scale and resources. When you shrink the active set, you're not just making the network a little faster, you're giving these few players even more power, while pushing independent operators, small teams, and enthusiasts out of the game. And here I want to speak directly to the developers. If you are currently considering or already implementing a reduction of the active set in your project, please think seriously about it. Imagine the competitive environment that is actively forming around artificial intelligence. There are already many blockchains and protocols positioning themselves as infrastructure for decentralized AI, for running models, inference, creating agents, and distributed training. They compete with each other for developers, capital, and users. This is a new gold rush, and the stakes are very high. Now imagine that one of these projects, less scrupulous or more aggressive, decides to accelerate its victory not through better technology, but through influence over validators. It reaches out to those same top mega-validators present in many networks and offers them attractive terms. In return, enough of these validators agree to coordinate their actions. What can they do in practice? In a governance system where proposals are voted on by stake weight, they can push changes that directly or indirectly harm a competitor. They can vote for network parameter updates that make life harder for rivals. They can support hard forks that make certain tools or smart contracts incompatible with the competitor. They can organize temporary outages at critical moments, for example during an important release or a major marketing campaign of a rival. They can block or delay proposals that could help another project grow, and all of this can be done without breaking any formal network rules, simply by using their voting power. In such a situation, true decentralization should act as a natural defense. When a network has hundreds of independent validators from different countries with different stake levels, different economic interests, and different backgrounds, organizing such collusion becomes extremely difficult. Many participants will simply refuse to join because it goes against their principles, risks their reputation, isn't economically beneficial, or because they simply have their own opinion. Diversity and independence protect the system from this kind of attack. But when the active set is small and the key positions are held by the same players across many networks, such collusion becomes entirely realistic. By their own decisions, blockchains are creating conditions in which decentralization stops performing its main function, protecting the network from the concentration of power and abuse. Why does this matter? Let's think about what decentralization really is, not in marketing slides. It's not just a pretty picture with many nodes on a map. It's a guarantee that no one can easily censor transactions. It's protection against one player or group unilaterally changing the rules of the game in their favor. It's resilience to external pressure, regulatory, political, economic. It's the opportunity for an ordinary person to participate in securing the network and earn rewards without depending on someone's goodwill. When we reduce the number of active validators, we gradually lose all these guarantees. There is also economic pressure. Large validators can operate with lower commissions because their costs per unit of stake are smaller. Small validators cannot compete for delegators. When you add a reduced active set to this, small and medium players are simply washed out. Only a narrow circle of dominant participants remains. We've seen this from our own experience. Over these 4+ years, we've worked in many networks. In those where the active set remained relatively wide and the rules didn't shift toward concentration, it was rewarding to work. You felt that your node actually contributed to security, that you were part of something bigger. In networks where the set was shrinking or requirements became stricter, the feeling was different. You understood that you were just one of many holding a spot, while real power was concentrated at the top. And when we shut down validators, it wasn't just about money, it was about disappointment, about the idea we came into this space for slowly being eroded. I don't want to say that all developers act with malicious intent. Many genuinely believe that by optimizing the network for speed, they are making the project better and more attractive to regular users. Fast transactions and low fees are indeed important for mass adoption, but I urge you to look at the balance. Is every millisecond saved worth sacrificing resilience, independence, and long-term decentralization? Can't we look for technical solutions that allow both speed and broad participation? I believe we can. There is research in efficient consensus protocols, sharding, and parallel transaction execution that can help reduce latency without drastically cutting the number of participants. But for that, decentralization must remain a priority, not a secondary concern that can be sacrificed for beautiful metrics in a presentation. I also want to address regular users and delegators. Don't just look at the APY percentage and choose the validator with the highest yield. Look at who stands behind that validator, how independent they are, whether they actively participate in the community, whether they vote wisely in governance, whether they are part of a large pool that already dominates dozens of networks. Your delegation choice is your vote in how power is distributed in the network. If everyone only stakes with the top 10 or top 20, then it is the top 10 or top 20 that controls everything. This is not a conspiracy theory, this is simple mechanics. I still believe in blockchain. I still believe that decentralization can work, but for it to work, it must be consciously protected. We cannot allow it to slowly die through a series of rational technical decisions. To developers, I say, put decentralization first in your architectural design. Conduct impact assessments on power distribution for any changes. Look for ways to incentivize not only big players but also independent operators. To validators, I say, be transparent. Publish your governance positions. Support each other. Help new participants. To the community, I say, stay vigilant. Ask uncomfortable questions. Don't blindly believe the marketing. Vote for what preserves the distribution of power, not for short-term gains. The slow death of decentralization is not a dramatic overnight collapse. It is a quiet process that happens through a series of small decisions. But if we don't pay attention to it today, tomorrow it may be too late. Well, I spoke up. It feels a little easier now. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video, and remember, I am not calling anyone to do anything, and I am not giving financial advice. The only advice, don't let yourself be shaved.
Let's go! I run these notes like I run these streets, yeah. Checking the seat, never miss a beat, no downtime. Uptime where I eat, best in the game and they can't compete. I'm steady, heavy, nobody shakes me. Locking the block, who the hell gonna chase me? Proof in the numbers ain't messing with fate. I'll sign and verify, keep your fucking chain straight. Wake up, boost to the machine, I'm cold. Look around, every move, work my posted code. You flex in the club, I flex in the low. Tickets to my name, validators on hold. Serious metrics, the West mode, man. No breaks up time, I'm the whole damn plan. Safety's a promise, the rest all talk. Boss in the system, you step, then you walk. I run these nodes like I run these streets, yeah. Checking the sync, never miss a beat. No downtime, uptime where I eat. Best in the game and they can't compete. All the